Coach, a lot in the news the last couple of days with the Pima County Health Department coming out with the recommendation about the transmission rates. Just your immediate thoughts about that 10 out of 100,000 metric. Do you agree with that, or is that something that can be attained?
It can't be obtained. I think when the AIA initially put out the 10 per 100,000, I think some coaches looked up the data. There was one state in the U.S. that was under 10. It was Vermont. So I think it's obviously unrealistic for us to get there anytime soon. But am I surprised about that recommendation? Not at all. I don't think the Pima County Health Department was going to sit here and say, yeah, go ahead and play football. I don't know that many departments are saying that. Again, responsibility is being pushed onto the next grouping. So that recommendation is then put on our superintendents to make a decision to go with it or against it. So it is such a difficult decision for our superintendents. So I'm not surprised that they put it on the superintendents to make the decision. And I think that's where all this has landed, which, being a superintendent right now has got to be one of the most difficult jobs, and a school board most difficult jobs that anybody in education has right now. So not surprised, but it's just tough because you have other counties that are in similar situations and they're doing different things. So I think that's what's difficult for the public to understand, and the kids of football and everything else. But not surprised, but a lot of conversations with the high level people are going to be having to make decisions soon.
Right. One of your mentors, Pat Nugent with Cienega, he decided to just postpone practice until they allow contact. Just your thoughts about that.
Well, Coach Nugent is my coach. He was my high school coach. He was the coach here before I was a coach. And he's obviously a huge leader in this town. I consider him my mentor, my second dad, everything that a football coach is, and now a friend and a colleague and everything else. So we've had all those relationships. I can just say I'm proud that he is making that kind of move for our city, not just for Cienega football. And I think that was well written in your article that this is a city decision, and coach and all the coaches want a decision to move forward because we feel like we've been put at risk, and if we're going to do that, we know that we decided to step out on the field, but we just can't go into a blind, darkened area with no end in sight, which is where we all feel are we day by day gonna get allowed to give it a chance. We understand that things may get canceled, people may get COVID, and we may have to stop, just like you see in the NFL or college. But are we even going to give it the shot to get there? I think that's the answer that needs to be had, and we're at that breaking point. A month or 2 months ago, we were at the breaking point of whether we were going to get on the field. So that decision was made. One of the most frustrating things was we got allowed to get on the field. We got a schedule last week. Lines are painted, as you can see on this football field. They talked about allowing fans or not allowing fans. They've done all those other things besides saying, yeah, you can go play. So that, having all those in place, but the actual game is where the frustration lies. So yeah, but I commend Coach for doing that, and I think a lot of us around the city, we just got that news late in the evening, and we all made adjustments. I speak for ourselves, but one of the adjustments we made is we just came and did an hour workout without helmets and pads. And we'll progress forward day by day with making the next decision that we have to have. But yeah, if we're gonna play a game on the 30th or even the week after, we might be at pretty good risk if we're not allowing these kids to touch each other or be in physical contact, because that's what this game is.
So what are your thoughts now going forward? Do you see still a possibility of a season? Do you think it's like Pat Nugent said, that it's probably not going to happen because of the metrics? What are your thoughts about it?
I would be, I don't know what kind of feelings, but if we got this far, a month in, and month and a half in, and we weren't allowed to start the season, I'd be extremely frustrated as a coach for our kids, for our programs, for our city, that we started something that we didn't even, get driving yet. We all understand that things may be canceled, and if people get sick, that we got to stop. But if we made a decision to start, then that's what's difficult, is we all feel like we're putting on a show for parents and players, and we're kind of sick of going through the motions, so to speak. And I think that's where Coach Nugent's just saying he doesn't think we're going to have a season, because that's the level of frustration that we're at, where we're going, going through the motions out here, telling kids that, okay, run this play, but don't run it fast enough where you touch somebody, but you're going too slow. Like, it's just so conflicting for everybody. And then tonight you got Friday night games in other parts of our state.
Over there.
Right over here, right? Yeah, I can see the lights behind me.
Yeah.
And that's what hurts, inside to these players and parents, and even us coaches, because if they, and I'll say this publicly, if they tell us that we can't have a season here, I'm gonna tell every senior to go to Casa Grande High School or any other high school and transfer and go play football.
Right.
Because if that's what they want to do, and that's the situation all of us have been at when neighboring places have been practicing and playing all summer. So we took one step getting on the field. Now the next step is, are we gonna actually move forward with playing the game of football?
Yeah, for you it's got to be particularly frustrating, because you were one of the leaders of the group of Southern Arizona coaches at the way in the summertime who sent a letter to the AA about pushing the football season to spring. And now it might be a case where there won't be any season, no plans for a spring season, and then the players are affected the most.
This is our fear. This is our fear, that we're going into uncharted waters without a plan, or making up the plan as we're going, which is a lot of what's happening, even in our situation here, or even our situations in school. I mean, we have a plan. We think we have a plan, but there's so many curveballs that you can't really adjust to it. So this was our fear, that we're going to walk into this situation, and then we are here today, where, okay, if we don't have contact next week, we lose a game. If we don't have contact the next week after, we lose another game, of the only 7 that we have scheduled. So that's what is terrifying to kids and parents and everybody else. So for us coaches, we just want a decision. We're just moving. They give us we get a little bit more and a little bit more, and it keeps people happy for a little bit. But as we kind of have taken that, but we just want a decision. And even if the decision were back then, hey, we're moving to the spring, Colorado's doing that, or hey, we're going, and this is what we're going to live with, and if people get COVID, then we're going to have to cancel games and do that, but we're going. But right now, we're just in that go, not go stage. And we that's the most frustrating part.
If there's a message you would give to the superintendents, the Amphi school district superintendent, what would you say to them, or the school boards?
I thought about this, because when I saw Coach Nugent do this, I figured, I'm sorry that they have to make the decision. I really am. And I would say to the superintendents that I'm sorry that the AIA has put you in this situation, and they know that by leaving the decision to individual places has put the pressure directly on the superintendents. And that's the pressure of people staying at your schools, kids holistically staying at your schools, and trying to do what's best for safety and all that. And it's a tough decision. So I commend them for doing what they, like we said before, I commend them for taking the courage to do this job. And they're in a no-win situation right now. Where they're going to take a chance on safety, or they're going to take a chance on, other parts of the state doing something that we're not going to be a part of. So, it's tough, but and they're in that same decision with school, So I wish them the best in making that decision.
Yeah. Well,
we just want one though.
The next school board meeting should be an interesting one. Whenever that, if it's next Tuesday, the following Tuesday. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck to you. It was great to see you out here.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
I appreciate you for coming out. Sorry we weren't practicing.
Oh no. Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right.